We need your help, Squire. We must find the treasure before it falls into the hands of Long John Silver.
Treasure, my boy? Did I hear you say treasure?
Hey guys, welcome back to 90s Kid. And the 90s Kid is not just all about me showing you what toys and games I used to play with, but it's also what kind of TV shows I used to like and cartoons. And if you've been watching my channel a while, you will know my favourite cartoon is Bucky O'Hare, and I must have mentioned that 500 times with all my videos. Should do more videos on it actually. But another cartoon I used to love was called The Legends of Treasure Island. So guess what that was about? And if you saw my recent animation cell pickups video, you would have seen me display this. Very lucky to come across these on eBay. This is Blind Pew, a character from the show. And on the first side, we have the main character there, Jim Hawkins. So happy I found those. And actually, very recently, this last week, more animation cells from Treasure Island have gone on eBay. But they're all like £1,000, £800, £500, and then as much as I do love this cartoon, no, way too expensive, but it would be awesome. So I don't know what it is about pirates and buried treasure that just lured me in as a kid, but I absolutely love it. Like, I love the Peter Pan story, Muppet Treasure Island, the Monkey Island video games, pirates, buried treasure. Is there something about it? So all these things must have had an impact on me as a kid, and that's why I love them so much. So it was back on the 10th of... should we try that again? It was back on the 10th of September 1993 that this cartoon first aired. I was only 6 years old, and I loved it straight away. The music, the story, the characters. The characters are great because like they're all animals, they're not humans. So I'm gonna think of it, a lot of my favourite cartoons had animals as the characters instead of like human beings. And like Bucky O'Hare was a rabbit, Jim Hawkins was a dog, Blind Pew was a rat, Long John Silver was a fox, Captain Smollett and Dr. Livesey were also dogs, and Squire Trelawney, he's quite a funny character, was some kind of like chicken or bird type character. Yeah, anyway guys, so before I go on, I just want to show you the intro to this cartoon. That end scream used to get me all the time as a kid. I found it quite like atmospheric, like whoa. Yes, let's play that one more time. Yeah, every time, gets me every time. I used to love it though. This nice short intro, nothing too complicated. It does what it needs to do. And yeah, so basically this was your simple Treasure Island story with a lot more in it, because the first series had 13 episodes, and it starts off as normal. Jim comes across a map, he bumps into Captain Smollett, gets the Hispaniola, and they set sail for Treasure Island to search for Captain Flint's buried gold. Billy Bones wasn't in this. Instead it was Jim's father who gave him the map.
But father, who's found you? I thought you said Flint died in your arms. How could he?
Not Flint. Another pirate with a heart as black as night, who would do anything to get hold of such a treasure. A one-legged pirate by the name of Long John Silver. You must take these and stop him. There's no telling what might happen if the treasure falls into the hands of such evil.
At the beginning, and then the pirates try and get it, and when they escape, but then the pirates come after them, and you have the entire series then of good versus evil, the pirates always trying to get the map, and so on. But the episodes were quite entertaining, especially as a kid, because I found because it's called Legends of Treasure Island. Treasure Island was made out to be a lot more supernatural. So you had cursed graveyards, you had weird caves and made you go a bit doolally upstairs. And yeah, there was a lot of different adventures that they all went on. There was a new character introduced that was not in the book or any other adaptation called Jane. She was Long John's chef on the ship. Apparently got kidnapped by him and held for ransom, but her parents didn't want her, so he was stuck with her. But then when she meets Jim, she joins him, and then so forth.
Let's see. Carrots? Thank you. You have 10 seconds to tell me who you are and what you're doing in there before I... Please, please. My name's Jim Hawkins, and I...
Where are they? Where are they?
Who?
The prisoners, that's who! They've escaped!
Oh, that's too bad. Don't worry. If I catch sight of them, they're mincemeat.
Yeah, but it was such a great series. I really liked it. And what I didn't realise at the time when I was watching this series was there's actually quite a high caliber voice talent. Dawn French is Jim Hawkins. You got Hugh Laurie as Squire Trelawney. Who else in it? Chris Barry. Who does he play? I have made a note somewhere. Captain Smollett. I've got my notes right by there. And Ben Gunn he played. Guy called Rob Rackstraw played Pew, and I want to mention him because apparently, looking at his Wikipedia and everything, he's done quite a lot of voice work, and he was so eerie and creepy as Pew. It was awesome.
But Master Pew, I had the map. It was right there in my hands, honestly. I was just about to make them walk the plank. I was just about to... Just find them.
So, I think these voice talents helped this show greatly at the time. And, as you can imagine, the last episode of the series, it came to kind of like a Jim versus Long John Silver fight. I know I won't spoil anything, I want to see what happens. And it ended, and I thought, oh, okay. So, fast forward 2 years later, I see an advert on TV that the Legends of Treasure Island is coming back. And I'm like, what? So it hasn't ended. I thought that was the end. How could it carry on? But no, they found a way to carry on a series for another 13 episodes. So you had 2 series of 26 episodes. Look at my maths there, great, eh? And basically, this just continued the adventures on the island, trying to get the treasure once and for all. But there's a lot less characters this time. For some reason, the producers of the show decided to focus on Jim, Jane, Squire Trelawney and Ben Gunn as the main 4 characters on the island. Captain Smollett and Dr. Livesey were then, I think they were on the ship sailing around or trying to get the pirate ship back for, needing the entire series. I think they came back in the final episode or 2. And the main villains were then Blind Pew and Long John Silver still. But there was a lot more mythic characters introduced as well. And the second series didn't seem to have the same tone as the first. I still enjoyed it because I remember it was aired on a Tuesday. This is how much I used to love this cartoon. The same day as Animals of Farthing Wood. Because I would tell my friends in primary school, it's like, oh, it's Tuesday. Guess what I'm going? Guess what's on tonight? Animals of Farthing Wood, and they go, yes, Legends of Treasure Island. I was like, yeah. But so I used to love getting home on a Tuesday, and if we had a parents' evening or anything, I'd be shouting at my mum or dad, oh, come on, we're gonna miss it. But yeah, I used to love it. But yeah, it did change. I still enjoyed it, but not as much. But what I will say for the second series, talking about the change actually, they had a new intro. Well, the same intro, but they this time came up with a song for it. So here is that song.
On the ship, across the sea, over land, just follow me, adventure time.
And I still find myself singing that song on occasion. It's not that good, but it just comes into my head. Da, 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 da. Yeah, but what I did like about the series, it had like a proper finale. Like every loose end is tied up. You see the end, what happens, do they get the treasure, do they not get the treasure? Something shocking happens, which I won't say what it was, but as a kid watching it, you wouldn't think that would happen. But yeah, it was really good. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's not any merchandise for the Legend of Treasure Island. If there was action figures, I'm sure back then I would have bought them all. Well, my parents and my grandparents would have bought them all for me. I did have 3 episodes on VHS. I think it was called The Journey Begins, something else, The Watchtower. And I gave this video away to my cousins many, many years ago when they were quite young. And thought I would never see the video again. A couple of years back, I went to my auntie's. She lives a couple of hours away. And she still keeps all the old VHSs, and there in the living room, in the cabinet, was that video I used to have. I was like, oh, no way. Like after all this time, VHS is like now gone. You got DVD, Blu-ray, and it's there. I was like, what? I think she had a couple others of mine as well. I mean, we must have given them all to the kids back then, and I was like, wow. I left it there. Obviously, I've got VHS now. I don't need it. But oh man. Saying that, I think I would want to collect it. But yeah, I'm not sure if all the episodes were released maybe in Australia or something I read. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's no merchandise. So to have the animation cells from the show is pretty cool. And yeah, the characters made the show for me. Like Squire Trelawney is quite a favourite. He's a bit of a coward, but brilliantly played by Hugh Laurie.
All it takes is a little bit of common sense and a gentle touch. Whoops, it is,
No, take anything. Anything you want. Here, take my scooter. Take my racket. Or this plant. Please, I beg you, don't take my money.
Jim Hawkins. I wanted to be Jim Hawkins back then, I remember. Because I used to have a little cutlass as well, and I was Jim Hawkins running around.
Hurry, Jim! Run!
Don't worry, I won't let you down.
In the second season though, when I say about the tone changing as well, a few of the voice actors changed. Dawn French didn't come back. I think Chris Barry came back, Hugh Laurie, and who haven't I mentioned? I can't remember now, but Richard Grant was Long John Silver, I remember that, in series 1 at least. Rob Rackstraw was back as Pew, but yeah, quite a few of them changed. And I remember like watching it and I remember thinking, that's not Jim's voice.
Well, that's a weird sight if ever I saw one.
I'm beginning not to like this, Ben. It's so strange and still. Look at those rocks. They look almost alive.
I know what you mean, lad, but they're only rocks. How can rocks possibly do anything to us?
And because of that, it just kind of changed it with me, and I didn't enjoy it as much, but I still loved it. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you used to watch The Legend of Treasure Island, because not many of my friends remember this cartoon. However, in the past year or so, I have actually met 3 people who do remember this cartoon, which is great to know. So I'm going to try and collect more animation cells if they're not a ridiculous price. I mean, those cost me £36, so that's a lot better. I tried some fan art of Jim Hawkins as well. Should I show that here? Because it's a while ago and it wasn't that good. My art has improved since then. But anyway, if you want to check out this series yourself, it's not available on DVD. However, it is available on YouTube. So just search for Legend of Treasure Island. All 2 series are there currently, and well, I don't think anyone's really got the rights to this. Well, they got the rights to it. Probably someone's got the rights, but it's such a obscure and old cartoon now. I don't think anyone's bothered. If it did come out on DVD, I probably would snatch it up. Anyway, guys, that is the first of my cartoons for the 90s Kid. I will be doing more. You can guess what will be going up. Yeah, so I thought I'd just feature different cartoons from my childhood I used to watch every now and then. Bit of information about the show. I've probably got several things to say on this. But yeah, it's a cartoon I really enjoyed, had an impact on my life. Amazing to have the animation cells. Let me know, like I said, in the comments, please, if you enjoyed the show yourself, or if you watched it, or is it just me that holds on to my nostalgic cartoons these days? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and boom, see you soon.